Today's tip is cleaning up a Revit model. So oftentimes it's a judgment call if I want to use the model or not. If I want to remodel using the Revit model as a base. This project's pretty large, so I didn't want to model over again. Everything came in on one layer. And my workflow, every material has its own layer. Old school, I can come in here and I can go to my material manager, material editor, pick the material, select all the materials, like that one, create a layer. But that's slow and tedious. There are scripts you can find out there that can automate this. I found Macs to be pretty unstable when it comes to customization, so I stopped relying on these third-party scripts. Also, waiting for them to be updated, or working something in my workflow and then the company developer stops supporting them, which is becoming more common than not. So I found SiNi tools, and I have found that almost everything that I needed can be accomplished with their suite of tools. So I subscribe to them, and they're kept current. Macs get updates, they update their scripts. Any bugs, I can report it and they're fixed. And under the main utility toolbar or tool, there's a script called layer materials. So it creates a layer from every material. So I click that, and you'll see over here in the left in my layer manager that it'll start populating layers with layers. So I just select everything, layer, material, and then it runs through the models and it moves all the geometry with the same material into the same layer. Pretty large model, it may take a second, but I'd rather run and get a cup of coffee than spend an hour or two cleaning it up manually. Halfway done. Voila, it's done. Now the naming convention, is vague. So I may have to come here and see exactly what multi-mat material is and then rename that layer. But I also like to have one element per layer. Viewport performance is much better. So again, I'm going to select everything, which selects all the layers. And then here, there is in mesh and poly, I believe, attach my layer. So now I'm going to go through and make one element per layer. So there's 122 layers, and it systematically goes through each one and then collapses everything and joins everything. This may take a little longer, but it's worth the effort. So I'll sit here and let it do its thing. So there's very few things that I can't do with extra scripts. And off the top of my head, they're used so infrequently I can't really remember which ones. But I will say that I had to reset my Macs ENU file today because of instability. My layer manager wasn't staying open. Layer Explorer, so every time I open up Macs, I had to reopen it. My copy and paste from Macs to Macs wasn't working. So I reset Max, and instead of having to load each of those tools again, creating those toolbars again, which I have to do 3 or 4 times, let's say once a month, something happens in Max where something gets corrupted. The SiNi tools reload itself, and I'm working 100% immediately. So that's another reason why I use the SiNi tools, is not having to manage all those scripts. I've just now touched the base with the SiNi tools. There's so much more it can do that I don't even know. Setting pivots I use often. The forensic part of the suite is free, and I use that in every project. Copy and paste, like I said, among projects, and that's pretty robust. So I can copy and paste elements, I can copy and paste material, I can copy and paste modifiers. So if I have a Max file from an old project and I have a modifying stack, I can select that in that old Max file and then select geometry on the new Max file element and then paste it. So many time savers. So attaching layers might take a little longer than I thought. It's 17 out of 122. But I think you understand what's happening. Once this is done, if I expand the layer, there'll be one element. For instance, the glass. There'll be one glass element instead of hundreds. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Hope you enjoyed it.